Hey guys, and welcome back. I know it's been a while, and we'll get into that because it's a whole. So, I hope you all had a great Father's Day, and happy belated Father's Day to all of the fathers, whether you are a father, a grandfather, stepfather, fur baby father. Happy Father's Day to all of you out there. I hope you all had a great Father's Day no matter where you are, who you were with, or what you were doing. I hope you guys had a great day, and a special, obviously huge Happy Father's Day to my father. I love you so much, and yeah, he is not my biological father, but for all purposes, he has always been my father, my dad. And I could not imagine my life without you in it. You raised four crazy, out there, wacko, I will say it, extremely pain in your ass teenagers. And might I say, you did a goddamn good job of it. Yes, you did. So Dad, thank you. I love you from the bottom of my heart. And there are no words that will ever express my love and my gratitude for you. So, I hope you love what I got you. We have matching t-shirts. Yes. Now, crazy, right? Anyway, moving on. So, I know what you're all thinking. Why do a video on mashed potatoes? It's mashed potatoes. You can buy instant, you can make instant. Almost everyone has a recipe for mashed potatoes. What is so important? Why would you want to review mashed potatoes? Let me tell you. So, my husband, one reason why it's been a while is my husband had to have oral surgery. So, he is down to, obviously, not liquids, but very soft. So, mashed potatoes, yogurt, pudding, popsicles, stuff like that. So, one thing that he absolutely freaking loves is mashed potatoes, and that is because his father, happy Father's Day in heaven to you, Pop, I miss you, was in the army. He was stationed over in Germany for a very long time, but his duty in the military was he was a cook. And one of his favorite things to make were mashed potatoes. So my husband grew up eating these incredible mashed potatoes. And if anyone doesn't know, I cannot eat, but I was able to eat. I've only been sick like this for 8.5 years. So I was able to eat up until about 8.5 years ago. So I have had mashed potatoes my entire life. And I freaking love mashed potatoes. The best mashed potatoes I've ever had in my life were when I met my husband and I tried his father's mashed potatoes. So I had a very high standard to live up to. Can't say that I've met it, but I've been told I've come close, but you know, what is he gonna say? Your mashed potatoes suck. I'm not gonna eat them. You know, so I'm pretty sure a lot of that has to do with him being nice. So anyway, I have made my own mashed potatoes obviously for many years, and you know, so I was never able to get to that extremely creamy consistency. There would always be some little chunks in there. The butter ratio, salt, pepper. Sometimes I've added garlic or onion powder or even minced garlic, chives, sour cream, milk, all of that. So I've done a lot of variations in my life because y'all know, if you know me. I know, Kristen, you are the sauce queen, honey bun, absolutely. I think I might be the spice queen because y'all know, I love to put spices and herbs and everything because I don't like to make anything plain. And some of you know, mashed potatoes can be a very plain thing. But with this mashed potato, I can't put pepper in them because the sutures, pepper could get in and under the suture into the gum, and that would be a bad thing. So I have to omit pepper in the mashed potatoes. So I'm thinking, oh crap, what am I going to do? So I went on Pinterest and I did a search for the best mashed potatoes. And I came across a recipe that I could, adjust here and there. And I made them, and y'all, I think I hit the mother lode. I think I did, because I had to omit the pepper, I had to omit the garlic, and all I could put in there was the milk, the butter, and the salt. But the instructions on how to make these and the things I learned in this recipe were like, what the mother? Ah! I never knew any of this. And you're thinking, what the hell are you going to learn from a mashed potato recipe? Stick with me, guys. Stick with me, okay? Please do. Because this might blow your mind and rock your world and shake your kitchen oven door. Okay? Guys, let's pop on over here. Get this party started. Right. Okay, so we're going to start off with the pot that we are going to use to boil our potatoes. So get you a large pot, because this one calls for 4 pounds of potatoes of russet or Yukon, but mostly in your stores you're going to find either a 5 pound, 10 pound, or whatever. So I just grabbed a 5 pound, and that's what I'm going to use. So I'm also going to what do you call it? I'm going to adapt my recipe to a 5 pound potato thing. You know what I'm talking about. Guys, bear with me. Anyway, so pot, butter. Now, you can use whatever kind of butter you want or whatever. Another thing that I loved about this recipe, God love this girl, she goes and she talks about the butter and how she loved to use the salted butter because there's nothing better than salted. She had me at that. Okay, potato masher. There are many out there. I have a few. I have one that looks like this. I have one that kind of looks like a little whoop. I have that too. But this one I like to use more because obviously it has the smaller grates in there. So that leaves room for less lumpy bits in there. So I got that. And then over here we got our salt. Like you've seen my little doop, doop. Thanks to Giada. Because I gotta be fancy pantsy like her. So we got our milk. You can use milk or cream. And I love her. We're going to get into her tips on the butter and the milk during the recipe. So, and down here I've got my tasty cutting board because we are going to use this. It's not just for show. And then we're going to come over here. So I'm going to scoot you guys. Bear with me, okay? It might be a bumpy road. Okay. So cutting board. And like I said, I have my russet. She said either russet or Yukon. And I just got the russet because, you know, whatever. And I have my strainer, colander, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, I got my 5 pound bag of russet potatoes that we are going to cut and quarter. So that's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to peel them, and then we're going to quarter them and put them in our pot. So that's our first step. I know it seems kind of silly to add like little tips or tricks with mashed potatoes, but I know everyone has like their own little thing about how they peel and cut potatoes or whatever. But I just wanted to show y'all how I do it, just in case you want a little easy way to do these. In my side, this side of the sink, I always line it with paper towels in here while I'm peeling them. That way I keep the bag of them on the side, and then I can just pull up a paper towel like this and then put them in the bag. Like that. Get it off the side. Clean sink. All them peeled. We're good to go. I just wanted to show you that. So then I have all of them peeled in the strainer. I'm going to put this in here. And then that way I can just rinse them off in here. I have my cutting board off to the side, which I'm going to chop them over here. So it's just kind of like an easier system. I have that in this side of the sink. They're peeled, clean, put away, rinse, cut. I thought I'd just show you that real quick. Okay, so I'm just cutting up my potatoes, and how I do it is, like you saw, I have the strainer in the sink now, and I rinsed the potatoes, and I just have my cutting board here. And I have a little paper towel over here up to the side where I just set them and I kind of wipe them off, because if you know, when you cut them, they stick to the knife. So, not that it helps much, but, you know, whatever. So, sorry, that was my phone. I have my phone on because I am waiting for my doctor to call. So, let me turn that off because that's not appropriate. But anyway, so like I said, the reason why I kind of picked this to review, I know mashed potatoes, how is that interesting? Well, I made these, and so these might be tips that you guys already know, but I don't know why I didn't know this. I guess because I was so stuck in my ways of making the potatoes the way I've always made them. So when I made these and I was reading her like little tips, it kind of just blew my mind. So it kind of started with, now I am an avid Food Network watcher, all of that. So I'm pretty sure I have seen a few of these. Like when it starts with, like you'll see, there is no water in the pot. They're just in here right now. Starting off with not having that water in there, and then putting the salt. I obviously know that it needs to be heavily salted because potatoes need salt. But starting them off with cold water. I never knew that. I always start off with really hot boiling salted water in here with the stovetop already on. So for me, that was one of the first ones that I didn't know about. And then it came to when they were done, putting them in the strainer in the sink and letting them sit there for 5 minutes to drain all of the starch off and let all of the liquid evaporate. I did not know that you need to let the liquid evaporate. I had no clue that that was even a thing. I've never even seen that on any of the Food Network channels, or any of the chefs mention anything about evaporating liquid off the potatoes. So that was another thing. And I was kind of skeptical because I was like, does she know what the hell she's talking about? So I did that. And then obviously, and I always did this too. I always returned the potatoes back to the pot and finished them in there too. And then she was very specific about mashing them by hand, and she gave the reasons by not using a hand mixer or a stand mixer or anything like that. And she said that purpose of that is because when you use either of those or even a food processor, that you can break down the starches in the potato, and that will cause the very gluey or gummy texture. And I always wondered why I would sometimes get that, because I would normally use a hand mixer. I think I've used my stand mixer maybe once or twice to try to get them more of a smooth consistency. I think I've even tried to use my whip attachment once or twice. So I was shocked that was a reason why. So, I mean, you got to use a little more muscle when you do it by hand. Yeah, I know that's kind of a pain in the butt. But to know the reason why was, hello, if you're going to tell me not to do something or to do something, you're going to give me the reason why. So that shocked me. And then, because, you know, most people, you use milk or cream and then the butter. She said to heat that And by heating that, it keeps the potatoes hot and also allows the potatoes to absorb it better to get the right consistency. And that also helps them to get a creamier texture. And I'm like, good Lord Almighty, that should have been like, duh. You know, you're gonna add cold milk or cold butter, then that's going to change. Why didn't I even put that together this entire time? They were kind of like aha moments, duh, why didn't I know that? But then at the same time, I'm like, It's probably because I was just, you know, like most people, you make them yourself or you get them from your mother, your grandmother, you use that recipe, that's all you've ever known, and that's what you do. So I think that's probably the main reasons why I chose this recipe to make, because of those reasons. And also she loved the butter. And I'm like, anyone who says butter, yes ma'am. So that's why I made this, and you guys are going to see exactly how this turns out. And that's why I kind of wanted to show you guys, because even though it's a simple, like, okay, they're mashed potatoes, but if you're like me and you make mashed potatoes, your family loves mashed potatoes, and you might, you know, struggle with the consistency or whatever, this will be, I kid you not, you guys, I kid you not, this will probably be your new favorite as well. So that's why I wanted to do this for you guys. Plus, I'm just on the struggle bus right now with crap in general. Like last video, I showed you guys that the feeding tube I have is having issues. Well, I do not know, you guys, who in this lifetime or another I upset, but I did it good. Yeah, I made someone pretty damn pissed because now, like before, in the video before, I showed you guys some pictures of what the tube looks like. And in order to explain to you guys what exactly happened, I'm going to show you guys a couple of pictures. So if you don't, it's nothing, you're not looking at anything gross or anything like that. It's my freaking stomach, you know, whatnot. It's nothing too ew. But in order to explain it to you guys, I'm just going to show you just a few pictures. So this first picture is going to show you what the tube adapter should look like. And that white piece on the end is essentially the stopper. The stopper that I have to attach this long tube to. And this picture right here, what you're looking at, is the long tube that I would attach to my G part, which is the gastro part. That one goes into my stomach, and that helps me to vent if I ever get distended. And that allows me to release any gas that is built up, or like if I drink coffee, because that is my one guilty pleasure. I could probably keep it in there for maybe a minute, 2 max, before I have to go upstairs and vent it. Otherwise, I will lose it. It will come up. So I will attach that tube to that little white circle piece that you see sitting next to it. And so that's what I will have to do. But Saturday, when I went to go vent, I twisted it in, locked it, tried to vent. Now you know that I was having problems venting. All I was getting was air, so we knew at that point it was broke. I was scheduled to have that button replaced, but when I went to go attach that line, that tube from that piece, it pulled that entire white piece out. And this picture right here is what I was left with. Now, what that is, is there is no stopper on the G part. So what was happening was my entire stomach, the acids and everything were coming out because essentially there was no stopper holding any of it in. So, you know, obviously I had to call my gastro doctor on Saturday on call. Hysterical. What do? So my husband, being MacGyver, he went downstairs and he found this. Yes, those are earplugs. People, silicone earplugs. Those are the ones he wears when he goes shooting. So he quickly, very quickly, shoved that in the end to stop everything from coming out. And so I am waiting for a phone call for surgery to be scheduled, because what they're going to do is they're going to remove that existing tube I have, and they're going to be replacing it with a new tube. It's an individual tube. It's much longer, and they're also going to be making a new incision to place another individual tube. So instead of having the GJ in that one tube, I'm going to have both of them individual, but in different areas. So that happened. That was our weekend. So that's why I have been busy. Anyway, not that y'all care or why not. Anyways, so patates are all done. They're all quartered in our bowl. So now I am going to heavily, people, and I mean heavily, salt these bad boys, because potatoes need a crap ton of salt. So let's grab our salt in our cute little container and let's salt these bad boys up very well. Okay, I think that was 4 or 5 teaspoons. So I'm going to proceed to cover them with some cold water, bring them up to a boil, and once it starts boiling, we're going to cook them uncovered for 15 minutes or until fork tender. And then we will go to the draining process, which, like she suggests, sit for 5 minutes. So there we be. Okay, so 15 minutes are up, so we are going to do the well-known fork test. I'm going to get a big one here. Oh, grab 2, whatever. Drain all the water. And we're going to hook them with a fork. Ooh, nice and tender. So now we are going to drain it. So what she does, she suggested that we put it in our strainer in the sink and let them sit in there for the 5 minutes to drain any excess moisture. Okay, my love bugs, they drained for 5 minutes in the sink. I returned them to the pot. I sprinkled a tiny bit of salt back on them. Not too much, because we gotta remember our butter has salt in them too, so we don't want to add too much to them. But since we drained all the salt on the water, we don't want to add too much. So I went ahead and I melted all of the butter. So like she suggested, to melt the butter and add it warm. And I also went ahead and I microwaved the milk as well. I microwaved it for a minute total because I wanted it to be hot. So we're going to add in all of our butter. Now, it's up to you how much you want to add. Me, personally, and like I said, her recipe is for 4 pounds, and I have 5 pounds. To her 4 pounds, she added a 1/4 cup, which is 4 tablespoons of butter. To my 5 pounds, y'all, I will not lie, I added, you saw 2 sticks in the beginning. I melted 1.5. So, yes. Did I go overboard? You're damn right I did. I'm a sinner. Ratchet, bougie. Anyway. Yes, I do have a TikTok. Anyways. And I'm going to add a little bit of milk at a time. And it all depends on how you like your milk. Or, not your milk. Stupid. How you like your potatoes. So, I'm going to go in here with my masher. Oh. That's another thing I like about this recipe too. It's all in one pot. So, that makes it perfect. And as you can see, guys, I mean, come on now. It is already getting beautiful. So, I'm not going to make y'all stand here, sit there, lay there, whatever you're doing, and watching me mash frickin' potatoes. So, I'll be back once I'm done. Okay? Okay, y'all. I smoothed it out because I wanted y'all to see how it turned out. Now, for me, it called for a cup of milk. I honestly only added, it may have been a quarter cup. So, just add the rest of your hot milk back into your milk container. Just kidding, don't do that, ew. But, it's because I added so much butter that I didn't need that much milk to add to it. So, that's why. But, you guys, this is why I made this video. Do you see what I am talking about? Do you see that? I mean, come the frick on. Really? I mean, hey, if y'all have been doing this for ages and years and years and years, I know. Hey, you're ahead of me. I guess I was just so stuck in my ways and what I was doing and thought, hey, whatever. But this blew me out of the water. So I think my pop would have been very proud of me, and I think he would have loved these. So this is for you, Pop. Well, and your son, because he gets to eat them. So I really, really, really hope you guys get to try these. And her recipe obviously is going to be down below. And as always with everything else, add, subtract, do you. This is just adapted for my husband because of, like I said, he just had oral surgery, so these kind of had to be plain. But because of the butter and all of that, he loves them. So, you know, put your pepper, put your chives, put, you know, whatever you want in them, do you. This is just plain Jane. But extra buttery, y'all. Can't be that plain. But please give these a try if you want a no-fail, extra creamy, in your face, holy crap, yum, mashed potato. That's too funny. I was getting ready to do my outro and then my doctor called. She's just waiting for a phone call, and apparently if interventional radiology, which is where I would normally get my tube replaced, it's kind of like radiology, but it's kind of I don't know how you would word it. It's like a specialty radiology where you have the radiologists and you have nurses, because there's anesthesiology and all this whatever in there with you, and it's kind of like she said she was waiting for their phone call, but then she goes, well, I just want you to know if they can't do it, we're gonna have to have a surgeon do it. I'm like, what? Okay. Well, I don't have a choice anyway, but whatever. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was kind of like a why, what, huh? But I hope you guys see why I did it, why I chose to review it, and I hope you guys try it. I really, really do, for those who love mashed potatoes or your family members like mashed potatoes. And like I said, this is kind of like the plain version of the recipe because I had to adapt to it. So obviously, add whatever you want, do you. You know, as with anything. So, thank you guys again for watching. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. I really appreciate every single one of you. It means so much more than you will ever know. And I will keep you guys updated if you want, or if you don't want, I will keep you updated anyway. I have nothing else better to do. Well, except make these videos and, you know, keep on keeping on. Keep it together. Thank you guys. I love each and every one of you. Please view it before you do it, because you might find stuff like this, like I did. And I will always continue to show you guys tips, tricks, and little things like this. You never know. I didn't. From my kitchen to all of yours and your families, be safe, love one another. Take a deep breath. From my kitchen to yours.